And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have a magnificent guest with us tonight, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than a frontline soldier, a scholar, an activist, a believer, and one who is a converter, one who helps convert all of the people across the pond to the teachings of Most Hon Elijah Muhammad, constantly with his work, not only online, but actually in the park, teaching the teachings of Most Hon Elijah Muhammad so diligently, none other than our brother and friend, Minister Leo Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, dear beloved brother Joshua. Wonderful to see you again, my brother.
Yes, sir. The honor is mine, sir. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank Allah for you taking time out of your busy schedule to come have a very important conversation with us tonight.
All praise is due to Allah, dear family.
Yes,
All
sir.
due
But we
to
have
Allah.
so much going on in the month of September to celebrate. But we want to start with something very important uh, that took place 40 years ago. It's the 40th anniversary of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan having his more than vision-like experience. And we want to know in 2025, Brother Minister, why is that vision important to us?
Yes, sir. Well, that's a big question, dear family. Let me begin by saying, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all holy praise is forever due. I bear witness that there is but one God, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. Once again, dear beloved brother, and to those who are tuned in to your wonderful podcast, the People's Podcast, I want to greet you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Dear family, that more than a vision experience really is tremendously important to us today in the year 2025, because it is really the fulfillment of prophecy, and it's really the fulfillment of a reality for Black people lost in the Western Hemisphere that was unfolding and being made manifest at that time by that experience that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had. As you know, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a very, very special human being, because he's the one that God chose to address. He's the one that God chose to speak to. He's the one that God chose to raise from a dead condition into an upright, living perpendicular. And that man, Elijah Muhammad, is the human being that so many human beings around the world talk about, but really don't have an understanding of who they're talking about. Because unfortunately, we live in a world that is governed by a satanic mind and an honor-like people who have insinuated themselves into a narrative which is spiritual, scriptural, prophetic, and their purpose and their aim and objective has always been to confuse that narrative so that people wouldn't really understand what is unfolding. And so we believe, dear brother, and we understand that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is in fact the exalted Christ. We believe that he is the man who is spoken of in the scripture as one who is raised, the first begotten of a dead people.
Yes, sir.
Not resurrected from a grave, but resurrected from a spiritually dead condition into a living reality whereby this man meets God and
Hmm.
God raises him and teaches him things that this world would rather have been kept hidden. But having received such revelation, he did a tremendous job under adverse conditions whereby he had to literally run for his life, my brother, from the early 1930s, going through the 40s, coming up into the 50s, where he found himself arrested. I think he was arrested in 1942,
Mm-hmm.
imprisoned. On several occasions, he had to endure that type of, uh, you know, persecution. But nevertheless, throughout all of this process, which his leader and teacher, God in person, prepared him for and taught him in advance what he had to expect to go through in order to be a liberating process for a people who were in a dead condition.
Mm.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the first begotten of a dead people.
Yes, sir.
His job that was given to him by Almighty God Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad was described by Master Farad Muhammad as the most difficult job ever given to any man in the annals of history, which is now to turn around and raise a dead people to life. And in the process of doing that, he also would have to contend with this world and its systems that is designed to fight against that process. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, dear brother, did a magnificent job over a period of some 42 years. He worked diligently, going from one city to another, building a nation within a nation.
Hmm.
In that process, brother, he raised up hundreds of thousands of Black people.
Yes, sir.
And among those hundreds of thousands, we have some who really shone such a bright light that they're written now in the history of humanity. I'm talking about persons like Muhammad Ali, who to this day, even in the day of Crawford,
Yes, sir.
even in the day of Canelo and Crawford, they still have to refer back to Muhammad Ali as being the greatest.
Yes,
The
sir.
But he was raised and taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was given the name Muhammad Ali by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Here's a man who only went to the fourth grade of school, talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, raising Black people by the hundreds and thousands and naming them, changing their identity from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali,
Oh,
and causing them to become universally recognized, not only for the particular skill of boxing, but for having something in his mouth that people hadn't heard before,
mm, mm,
and
mm.
having a dignity and a pride that made him to stand out among men. He raised up, dear brother, our great brother, Malcolm X,
Yes, sir.
who was Malcolm Little, but became a powerhouse when it came to the liberation struggle of Black people and today is honored and respected on a global scale based on what he did over 12 years in the Nation of Islam. I'm saying all of this because it's important to contextualize what we're about to get into when we
Yes,
talk,
sir.
when we talk about this vision-like experience that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan experienced on the 17th of September, 1985.
Yes, sir.
You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the third person I want to mention who has been raised by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I would really encourage all of us to familiarize ourselves with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There was a time when I was just coming into the Nation of Islam in around 1991, 1992, when I received my ex in Muhammad's Mosque number 7 in New York City. And at that time, dear brother, all we had was like some TDK tapes, some what do you call those? Cassette tapes, video tapes. But we didn't have the internet. We didn't have what we have today. And it wasn't always easy to access the teachings, to be able to see and hear the teachings as taught and exemplified by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
But today we have no such excuse. Today we have the internet. Today we have, you know, uh, so many avenues and so many platforms on which we can click a couple of buttons and we can hear and we can see the majesty of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I would really encourage everybody to really familiarize yourself with the teachings by the minister, because the minister has done such a magnificent job, dear brother. Before we came on, I heard you were playing, one of the lectures where the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was talking about the wheel. And I don't know if that was from that monumental series, The Time and What Must Be Done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But, I would encourage everybody to go to noi.org or even go to YouTube and look up these lectures, because you need to familiarize yourself with the history. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the greatest teacher and exponent of the history of the Nation of Islam. And if we study, we will really get all of the gaps that we may have in our understanding filled, so that we can have much more of a comprehensive knowledge of this very, very important aspect of our struggle and our liberation. We can come to a good understanding, because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, dear brother, has been, he was one of the ministers that was raised by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But over the years, he has proven to be the most exceptional of all of the ministers, all of the students of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad went through what he went through, which was really, really tremendously difficult and hard trials, dear brother. The Holy Quran says hard trials are necessary to establish the truth. Well, make no mistake about it, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad went through tremendously hard trials in order to be able to occupy that space that God told him to occupy. And everyone who comes along to follow him, all of us have to go through something of a trial and trials in order to qualify ourselves to walk that road. It's not an invitation to a picnic. It's not an invitation to a walk in the park. It's an invitation to an uphill road. But that uphill road leads to salvation.
Yes, sir.
You get what I'm saying, dear brother. It's like, why we go to the gym and we pump iron and we have to go through tremendous pain if we want to build muscle. Well, the same principle applies here. No pain, no
No.
gain.
Yes, sir.
We cannot gain the kingdom by trying to avoid pain.
Mm, mm, mm.
Pain is a necessary part of the process in order to qualify ourselves. The female giving birth to a child has to endure pain.
Yes, sir.
But that pain is what ultimately bonds her to that child. And so she becomes a mother, and in the word mother is the word other. She's now attached permanently to another.
Mm, mm, mm,
You see? And it's the pain that makes that bond and solidifies and makes those two, the child and the mother, one.
mm. Beautiful.
And it's the same process when you and I wish and desire to become married again to God. Then we have to go through the process that enables us to become one with God.
Mm.
And it's a painful process. And so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan through tremendous pain, brother. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says that there were times when he would leave the presence of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and he would just go and cry because of the tremendous trials and tests that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad put him through in order to determine whether or not he had the character to be able to occupy or be able to sit in the seat of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the absence of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Mm, mm.
Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that he had to go away in order to prepare a place for those of us who are coming behind him. He had to go away in order to qualify himself to graduate and to become and to evolve into the next stage of his development, because he started off, brother, as the messenger of Allah.
Yes, sir.
But he's more than the messenger now, dear beloved family. He is now the exalted Christ. And what does that mean? That means that here you have a man who is now anointed by God with power to crush the wicked
Allahu Akbar.
and to bring about a universal change and a brand new world order. This is a man who is taken from being really, because he grew up, brother, as a sharecropper. As a child, he was in the fields, you know, really just up out of slavery,
Mm, mm, mm.
having rudimentary education. When the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan first heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad speaking, in his mind, he was thinking, this man can't even speak properly. Because he wasn't the most eloquent speaker, having not really that mastery of the language, because you can't have that if you are not a person who has been exposed to what this world calls quote unquote education.
Mm, mm.
You see? And so the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, chosen by God, raised by God, taught by God, became this magnificent teacher of the Word of God and infused in all who came to him that magnificent what we call invincible truth.
Yes, sir.
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan became the greatest proponent of that invincible truth.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, dear brother, and having, you know, gone through tremendous trials, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan eventually grew into a knowledge that he was, in fact, the one who was to sit in the seat, in what's sometimes referred to as the mercy seat,
Mm, mm,
the absence of his teacher and leader, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And having taken up that mantle, having taken up that place, at a certain point in time, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad determined to connect with him directly to instruct him, not just now in terms of the teachings that he had been fed before, but now in it's not a dream. It's rightly described by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a vision-like experience, where in a vision that takes place during a time when the minister is not necessarily conscious, but maybe in a sleep type state, he is then taken, transported to this magnificent vehicle that we refer to in the teachings as the mother wheel or the mother ship or the mother plane.
oh, what
You know, I'm trying to really find a way for us to really think about this, because for some people they really make it difficult to, like, oh man, I can't, it's like I can't conceive, I can't perceive this. But we've all had dreams.
mm,
We've all had dreams, and we've all been in really vivid dreams where literally when we wake up from the dream, we're wondering, was that real or what? Because it
mm.
seemed so real whilst it was taking place.
Yes, sir.
We've also, all of us have had the experience of what I think it's a French term, déjà vu,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
where we do something or something happens in our life, and we're sure that, wow, that's like I've done that before, or I've been here before, or I've seen that before, or I've heard that before, but consciously we know that we've never been there.
mm, mm,
But
mm.
yet in our mind we know that yes, we have been there, but in another state,
Yes, sir.
in another condition. Well, dear family, Almighty God Allah has the ability to do this. He has the ability to bring us into places, to give us experiences on a subconscious level
Mm,
that's not on a conscious level. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us that he was transported onto this mother plane. And during that experience, the minister said that he was taken up into one of the baby wheels, into one of the little vehicles that this world calls flying saucers,
yes, sir.
or UFOs, unidentified flying object, or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. These are the terms that they use.
Yes,
But
sir.
he was taken onto one of these, and then this vehicle went into the mothership, and he was then deposited into the mothership, where he walked into a room and he
Mm,
heard the voice of his leader and teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as clear as you and I are able to hear each other's voices right now. And in that experience, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him that the president of the United States, I think the president at that time was Ronald Reagan,
Yes, sir.
had met with his joint chiefs of staff. These are his military personnel, and that they were planning a war. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad instructed the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that he should hold a press conference
Mm,
and
mm, mm.
tell the world what he had been told by his teacher on the wheel. And he instructed him specifically, tell them that you got it from me, Elijah Muhammad, on the wheel. Now that's some deep stuff there, brother. You see, because again, for many people, um, I've heard people myself mocking the whole idea of the mothership, the mother wheel. Ah, you lot believe in a spaceship and blah, 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 whatever. And they think it's very funny. But brother, I never hear them laughing about a space shuttle
Mm,
that the white man builds and takes off on a rocket, goes into space, returns from space. I never hear them laughing about spaceship Earth
mm,
because
mm,
now
mm.
we're on a planet that's traveling through space. You see? And so it's not that difficult a concept to understand. You know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, dear family, I just want you to think about this for a second, because Brother Joshua, I want you to imagine for a minute, you are told you go to bed tonight and in your sleep state, you receive revelation, you receive a message that tells you that you got to go tomorrow to the world, go on the People's Podcast, and tell the world that God told me to tell you, the world, this message. See, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, dear brother, is such a beautiful human being, such a courageous man. See, because many people told him, Brother Minister, you can't say that. You can't do that. They're going to mock you. They're going to laugh at you. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to say you're a lie. Yeah, 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 blah, 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 blah. The minister didn't take any notice of none of that, brother. This is a man, brother, who has taught you, he's taught me, he's taught, brother, the man has spoken millions of words, and the enemy has not been able to defeat one word
My
that
Lord.
the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught. Not only has he taught, brother, it's not like he just teaches into a vacuum. His teaching is such that it transforms human beings. Now, that's not a lightweight thing, brother. As I was coming up in life, brother, I tried so many things in my life. One time, brother, I had long dreadlocks.
Mm,
I was Rasta, you know. But even when I was a Rasta, brother, I was doing all kinds of crazy, foolish, crazy, mad, crazy stuff, brother. Mad stuff, brother. There was another time, brother, when I was into Zen Buddhism, brother. And I
mm,
was crazy about martial arts. And I mean, brother, all I wanted to do was fight, brother.
mm.
Me and a good friend of mine, a Turkish Cypriot friend. And we would go into, do you know a phone booth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the UK, they had these red phone booths, and we would go in there, brother, and we would fight each other in the phone booth for half an hour, 45 minutes, just to practice fighting in a confined space.
Go ahead. Okay. Okay.
Just that's how we experimented. We would do all kinds of crazy stuff. But what I'm saying, brother, is that, you know, I was trying to find myself and learn about me and learn about the world. But in truth, even though I was exposed to certain realities and certain truths, like for instance, a long time ago in the 80s, I was on the anti-apartheid demonstrations against the South African apartheid regime.
mm, mm,
I was one of those activists who used to do those types of things. And me and another brother, Spartacus R, he's passed on now, may Allah be pleased with him. He and I would go into the supermarkets and pick up all of the goods that were from South Africa. And we would fill up a shopping basket. Then we would go to the checkout and check all of these things through. And then we'd get to the last item and say, oh my goodness, these are all from South Africa. We can't possibly buy these. We can't possibly pay for these. And so we'd have messed up all of their cash register. But this was one of our protests against apartheid South Africa. And we were arrested, brother. We were charged and we went to court and we beat the case, because what we were doing was really legitimate protest. My point is this. I was trying all of these different things and getting into all of these different things. Some of them were, I would say, worthy. Some were not so worthy because I was also into some criminality and foolishness, brother.
mm,
But my dear brother, when I heard the teachings of
mm.
the most honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, brother, my whole life became transformed. And I've never heard nothing, brother, that comes remotely close to these teachings in terms of their life-giving properties.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Life transforming properties. You know, brother, you invite me onto the People's Podcast, and I get invited, brother, into so many different arenas. There's a very prestigious school in this country called Eton,
Mm,
which is where many of the prime ministers go as boys, to learn lessons, and many of the royals go. When Prince William was a boy, I was going to Eton while he was there, brother, to lecture them on the
mm.
teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is one of the most prestigious places in this country, according to the Caucasian. But little Leo Muhammad is getting invited into that type of arena. Why? Because, brother, the teachings is so magnificent
Yes, sir.
that even though they may even, be terrified in truth of what the teachings is telling them about what is to come and the reality of their time being up,
Allahu Akbar.
they were like the proverbial, I think Janet Jackson had a song, like a moth to a flame, burned by desire. Even though they knew that the flame was dangerous, i.e., the teachings, they still had to expose themselves to it because they needed to have that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding. And they gave us standing ovations, brother, when we lectured there. And so I'm saying all of that to say, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, brother, far from being a nut, far from being some crazy man, far from being somebody who, you know, would jeopardize his own dignity and his own value by saying something crazy. The minister followed the instruction of his leader and teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and told the world about his vision-like experience. Because that vision-like experience was a demonstration, because the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad wanted the enemy to know that he is alive,
Allahu Akbar.
that he is not dead, as the lie that has been told that he died in 1975. And I hear people to this day, when they talk about, the passing of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the death of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, we say he lives. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says he lives, and we know that he lives, dear brother. Not just believe he lives, we know that he lives. And
Yes,
he sits right now at the right hand of God,
yes, sir.
vehicle above our heads, 40 miles above our heads, called the mother plane. And the vision-like experience is really telling you and I to have faith,
mm.
to have no fear, to know that, sometimes we get impatient, brother. And when we wonder, man, God, we question God. When are you gonna destroy this wicked devil? Because we suffer, man. We suffer in a world like this. But suffice to say that God doesn't operate on our time, dear brother. He operates on his time. Even the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan does not know the hour.
Yes, sir.
See, only Allah knows the hour and those that he makes privy to the hour.
Yes, sir.
And the one that we believe that he will make privy to the hour is his exalted Christ. You see, the former slave who he will use to crush a wicked world.
Yes, sir.
But dear brother, and I hope I'm making sense and I'm not just going on,
Absolutely.
but it's important to also understand why in the Holy Quran there is this constant refrain, and whenever you and I give what we might call the shahada or the opening, we say, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful.
Yes, sir.
But why is this constant refrain of being beneficent and merciful? It is because that is the character and the nature of God. He
Beautiful.
really does not want to kill us
Mm.
or the enemy. He wants to be beneficent and merciful because that's his foremost characteristic.
Yes, sir.
That's his desire to see everybody reform and come into line, including that rebellious devil, even
Mm,
though we know that his rebellion is so precocious, it's so contagious, it's so wicked that he can't reform, dear brother.
mm.
But God desires to give everybody the opportunity to make that change, to make that adjustment, that his beneficence and his mercy might benefit everyone. And so, even though some of us are impatient and we just can't wait, I heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he warned us, brother. He said, don't even pray for that day,
Mm.
the day of judgment, the day when everything really um, explodes. He said, don't pray for that day. And I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan repeat that, said, don't pray for that day because, see, he explained that on that day, many of us may be going down with the enemy because many of us are not too clean, and many of our family members are not too clean, and many of our family members may find themselves in that lake of fire because we're all wrapped up in Satan's world.
Yes, sir.
So don't even pray for that day. In fact, pray for an extension of time. Pray that Allah will bless us to get our acts together before that great and dreadful day. Dear
Yes,
brother,
sir.
the enemy is so wicked that he has sealed his own doom. And that God who came, he is a warrior God, brother.
Allahu Akbar.
He's not a milk toast God. This is not some fairy tale God. This is a real live man
Yes, sir.
who commissioned in around 1929. I know the mothership actually took off in 1929 from the island of Nippon or Japan.
Mm.
He commissioned the building of this wheel, and he commissioned many, many scientists and engineers from different parts of the planet who were given specific tasks to build specific parts of the machinery that would go into the construction of this magnificent vehicle. And these scientists would be working on their part and not even know what the overall construction would look like. This is how wise and powerful this particular God is, who had the blueprint of what he wanted to construct in his own mind.
Yes, sir.
You see? And so, you know, this has been done, brother. It took flight in 1929. Some people say that the Wall Street crash and the Great Depression of the 1929 30s was as a result of the enemy seeing this vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that had taken flight at that time. And because I don't know if people appreciate and understand how the whole of the financial world of the Caucasian is built on what's called confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and when things happen that could depreciate or limit their confidence, when you get a crash, people start to pull their money out of systems and companies and so on and so forth, and you end up with a crash of the currency. And so many people speculate that this was part of what caused that in the 1920s, going into the 1930s, 1929 onwards. But suffice to say, dear brother, that, and again, I don't know if people really appreciate that in 1931, 1932, I'm not going to ask you, brother Josh, how old you are, but the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1931, I think, was 34 years old, brother. We sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we appreciate that this was a young man who was receiving this revelation at that time. You see, 34, 35 years old, being given a mission like this, man. And again, if you look at the pictures of him when he came into the teachings, when he was raised by God, man, what a handsome, beautiful looking young brother. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, beautiful looking brother. And even the images that we have of him with his fez, the black fez with all of the jewels in the crown and everything,
Yes, sir.
man, the beautiful looking man, very unusual looking man. I'm saying that to say, when you look at the members of the Nation of Islam, brother, we don't look like anybody else on the planet.
Mm.
All of us take on a characteristic and a look that's a little different. I remember seeing you, brother, when you were drilling as a little boy. My God, we in London, we said, wow, look at this brother. This is a
Praise be to God.
soldier. I don't even know, how old were you then when you were drilling?
12 years old.
Wow, man. We said, look at this soldier.
Praise
And
be.
and and nobody produces that type of human being like the Nation of Islam.
That's right.
That level of boldness and strength, brother. You see? And just recently we were at the carnival in the UK. It's an annual thing that happens here. And some stranger took a picture of myself and some of the brothers standing, just having a conversation. And then they posted the picture, and the caption that they wrote on the picture is, "This is how men should look."
Mm.
You know, and we have a popular saying in the Nation of Islam among the FOI. I think sisters probably have their own version of it. Everywhere we go,
Yes,
people,
sir.
who we are,
That's
where
right.
we
That's
come
right.
from. You know what I mean? Because we're not of this world, brother. And that is because God came
Allahu Akbar.
and he raised a magnificent human being in the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has raised, as I said, human beings by the hundreds of thousands through his man, the little Jesus among us, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And so, I want to really emphasize that this more than a vision experience is extremely important for you and I to understand that what it means is that all of what we've been taught in the scriptures about seeing God on the day of judgment,
Yes, sir.
that he will come in the clouds having great power, that Christians and other people talk this stuff, but they spookify it, brother, and they don't understand that it's dealing with a reality of God in person.
Mm.
And that he's not going to be flying in the sky with little Kentucky Fried Chicken wings on his back, but he's going to be in a vehicle,
Yes, sir.
his vehicle. We watched Star Trek all these years and watched Captain Kirk going onto the bridge,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
sitting in that seat of command.
That's right.
Well, that's fantasy based on reality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you ever
Yes,
see the
sir.
comedy sketch? Did you ever see the comedy sketch that was done by the comedy show in Living Color?
Of course. Of course.
You seen that one where they did Farrakhan going onto the
Yes, sir.
ship?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brother, it's a wonderful thing, when we appreciate, when we understand that even though people may make mockery and people may laugh and joke around, what we're dealing with here is a very, very beautiful fulfillment of the scriptures and how you and I are all wrapped up in it. You see how that mothership is one of the most central aspects of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and how that mothership is 100% linked to the Nation of Islam.
Mm.
You see, people wonder why the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is so bold. How can he speak and be so fearless? Well, it's because he knows something, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You hear the minister talking about his backup, and it's real. It's real. The backup is real. You see, God and his angels, and again, angels, these angels, they're black men. These are not spooky little fat little white girls that we see depicted on the smoked glass windows of churches.
Yes, sir.
These are black men in suits,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you see. And so, for me, brother, I go to bed excited and I wake up excited, brother.
Mm.
You understand? Because I know um, that I don't see myself, brother, as anything special. I have to be completely frank with you, brother. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm really not an arrogant person. I don't see myself as being anything special. What I know about myself and what I recognize about myself is that I'm one of the wretches.
Mm. Mm.
What makes me happy, brother, is knowing that, my God, a wretch like me
Yes, sir.
being exposed to this, thank you, Father, for revealing these things onto babes and keeping them from the wise and the prudent man. So it don't come to people who think they're special.
Mm.
It comes to those who really are in the mud of the white man's civilization. That's how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad described himself.
Mm. Mm.
He said when he was found by Master Father Muhammad, the only thing you could see of him was his eyeballs peeping out of the mud.
That's right.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan says that he's not worthy to tie the messenger's shoelace.
Mm. Mm.
It's just for us to contextualize what this means. We're not being arrogant like, oh, we're so special, we're so great. Look at us. We are the superior. No, it's not like that, man. God is supreme, but he has given us supreme wisdom.
Yes, sir.
He has taught us of a supreme power, which is his power that is in the universe that the enemy can't deal with. The enemy now, brother, in the Pentagon and in other places, he's confessing, brother, that the wheel is real.
That's right.
You
That's right.
know, that the little vehicles, the baby wheel. And by the way, I was thinking, brother Josh, the other day that you see in 1930, 1932, 1933, when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad began teaching. And by the way, when he began teaching about the wheel, the reality of the wheel, nobody was talking about no UFOs or anything like that.
That's right.
Oh, he was the progenitor. He was the one, he was the architect of this type of teaching. It was only later in the 1940s, 1947, when, it became more mainstream for people to start talking about UFOs and
Yes,
flying
sir.
saucers. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching on this stuff, man, way before then.
That's
And
right.
when he was arrested by the FBI, that was what the primary thing that they were questioning him about. And they took diagrams and other notes
Yes,
that are
sir.
in the mosque. They took all of that stuff, brother,
That's right. That's right.
for their research and their archives in order to try to understand what this black man was teaching and talking about. And so, you know, it's just, from my perspective, critically important that we appreciate that what we've been given, what we're taught, is just so powerful that the enemy is literally terrified, brother. And that's why when it comes to the mothership, it's classified above top secret. And there are some of us who think that at some point the enemy is going to fully admit that, the mothership is real, they're piloted by black men, God is at the helm, God is the author of all of this. Brother, they will never, ever admit such. They
Mm.
can't. It's not within them to do so. They can't.
Mm.
To make such an admission is to confess that they are doomed.
Mm.
So this is why they can't do it. This is why it's classified above top secret.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so elements of the truth will leak out, elements of the truth will be admitted to, but they will never, ever be able to come completely clean. See, it's just like Pharaoh back in the day. It's only at the point when he was about to die that he said, Allahu Akbar.
That's right.
And God says in the Quran, what now?
Yeah, exactly.
Only now you wanna say I'm the greatest? It's too late, buddy.
Mm.
You see, so it's just I may have said this to you before on the People's Podcast, but I think it bears saying again that, I like movies, brother. We
Me
we
too.
we just did we just broke down Sinners the other day.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we did a movie breakdown, live in person breakdown. We're gonna do part two soon, and we're gonna do part two online.
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
And I'm a great lover of the movies,
Me too.
and because Allah has blessed me to be able to see things that maybe the movie maker is not necessarily expecting people like us to see, but I'm able to see beyond the facade of just mere entertainment,
Yes, sir.
read into some of the hidden messages and things that are hidden in plain sight in these movies, both in sound and vision.
Yes, sir.
And so I broke it down, but I'm saying that to say this, brother. I don't care what movie you've ever seen, brother Josh. I don't care how exciting it was. I don't care how powerful it was. Terminator, Predator, Ben-Hur. I don't care how magnificent the movie was that you saw, brother. There is no movie more powerful than the movie of your life and my life that we are currently living.
Mm.
Do you understand what I'm saying, brother?
Yes, sir.
There's no story, brother, that anybody can write or tell
Mm, mm,
that is
mm.
more magnificent than the drama that you and I are currently living through.
Yes, sir.
You see? And the culmination of that drama is the destruction of a world of unrighteousness
Mm,
and the bringing in of a brand new world built on the principle of freedom, justice, equality, and peace. That's what we're involved in, brother. And the enemy is busy trying to make us think about little green men from Mars.
yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? And by the way, the men on Mars are not little and they're not green.
That's
They're
right.
very tall. They're very big, black men. And so, um, I'm excited about it, brother. And when you said to me that you wanted to talk about that vision-like experience, I was excited, brother, because to me, there's nothing more important than the recitation of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And in 2025, it is the most important thing that should be in the forefront of our minds.
Mhm.
Because what we're witnessing now are more and more unfolding of the end times, which is why there are more and more sightings, which is
Yes,
why
sir.
there are more and more strange phenomena. Have you heard about the animals in, is it Yellowstone Park?
Yes, sir. It's Yellowstone Park, but I'm not familiar with the animals that you're
Yeah,
referencing to.
the
Yellowstone Park.
animals have been on the move recently, brother,
Mm, mm.
saying that there's very unusual behavior by many of the animals. You've heard about birds falling out of the sky,
Yes, sir.
different things, unusual things, unusual weather, you see. And believe it or not, there are many, many very strange phenomena taking place, but you're not going to necessarily get it in your legacy news media.
Mm, mm.
See, because they are very much aware of this strange phenomena taking place, which is because it's a time of change. It's a time now when nothing is going to remain the same.
Mm.
And because things are changing and changeable, it makes for disturbance
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
because it's no longer business as usual. Make sense?
Makes perfect sense, sir.
And so this is what we're witnessing now, dear brother. And it's a very, very beautiful time to be alive. We're taught in the teachings that the prophets of old, they wish that they could be alive in this day.
Well, welcome.
We're alive in a very, very unique and special time. And our job is to survive and get through the transition.
Yes, sir.
And the transition is a very, very precarious and a very dangerous time. And so that's why, we have to pay heed to what we've been given, i.e., those 58 lectures,
Yes,
the
sir.
time and what must be done, and those 21 study guides. See? And if we study the teachings from that perspective, it gives us an opportunity, gives us a chance to get through, to
Beautiful.
survive. And it doesn't mean that in the survival, we won't get scratched, we won't get hurt, we won't be injured. All of that is possible. Um, in disaster movies or in any real disaster, even the survivors, when you see the survivors who get through, they're very, very rare that a survivor is unscathed.
That's right.
Even though you survive, when people see you, they can see that you've been through something.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's what we have to prepare for, a process of survival. And a significant part of it is to make ourselves as knowledgeable as possible about the wheel
Beautiful.
and this experience that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had, because once you can accept it and understand that it's real, that he's not making up a story, then when you understand that and you believe that and you know that it's true, then you can act accordingly, because you know now that you're dealing with a man who is a man who came from the womb of his mother like everybody else. He's not,
Yes, sir.
special hands or a special head or something like that. No, he's been taught and trained
That's
by,
right.
by a magnificent teacher,
Yes, sir.
and you know his mother's womb was touched.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, make no mistake about that. You know, um, if I'm honest with you, I believe that my mother's womb was touched.
Go ahead.
I got to tell you the truth. Brother, all of us, the minister says, are chosen.
Well, welcome.
All of us who are here today, we're not here by accident. We are here for a purpose. We're here for a reason. And we need to discover what that purpose is and live accordingly, and not make the mistake of being one who never actually realizes his or her purpose.
Mm,
The
mm.
result, it's a wasted life. You see, in a great lecture called "The Man and the Mission,"
Yes, sir.
Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan explains how the man with the mission, he can live, years and years and not even realize that he's a man with a mission.
Yes, sir.
But at a certain point in time, that mission will kick in.
Beautiful.
There's something will happen in that person's life where they will realize, oh my God, I've got something to do here.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm encouraging everybody to really examine yourself, man, and examine yourself, sister, examine yourself, brother, and realize that you're here, man, for a much bigger purpose than going to a party and, you know what I mean, and going to the next rave and, drinking and smoking and vaping and all this stuff, which is just killing us, man,
Yes, sir.
really hurting us. And we saw one brother tonight, because I was at FOI class this evening, but we saw
Yes,
one
sir.
brother, we saw one beautiful black brother who has no knowledge whatsoever of himself, in a shop with his trousers sagging all the way around his thighs. It's just crazy, brother. And you know that the brother can't even walk properly. because he's got his trousers, literally the waist of his trousers on his thighs with his whatever, whether they were underpants or whatever they were underneath. It's just, and myself and the brothers, we were saying, imagine somebody is convinced that brother that that's a good look.
mm.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, I could talk all night, brother, until you slap me and interrupt me. So that's what I take from the vision like experience. That's my understanding of its significance and its meaning to us today. I think it's extremely important because what it comes down to, that prayer that we say, by the time surely man is in loss,
Yes, sir. Step for those.
then comes the exception.
Yes,
See,
sir.
by the time every man is going to be losing today, by the time surely man is in loss,
Yes, sir.
except those who believe. Believe in what?
Mm.
Believe the truth that's been revealed by God.
Yes, sir.
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is literally, brother, the mouthpiece of God.
Wow.
See? And so when that man tells us something, as incredulous as we may think what he's saying sounds, it is the gospel truth.
Yes, sir.
See? Except those who believe and what? And do good. The word good, brother, is just the same way you say God.
Yes,
Just an
sir.
extra O. Except those who believe and do God.
Dude,
Do the will of God. Do good.
dude.
And exhort one another to truth.
Yes, sir.
We've got to be truthful, and we're taught to be truthful, even if the truth be against ourselves.
That's right.
So when we know that we're weak, we know that we're still eating cashew nuts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Think about it, man. You know how serious that is, brother? Why is it serious? Because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that every handful of nuts that we eat takes away 5 years of our life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's his words, brother. So imagine we're there still shaking
Yes, sir.
nuts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Knowing this, imagine we're still, there's some alcohol that comes out of Jamaica called white rum.
Mm,
One specific brand called Ray and his nephew.
mm.
Ray and nephew white rum. And Ray and nephew, brother. And this, like they make alcohol in it, and it's like 50 proof in terms
Yes,
of the.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This alcohol, brother, is overproof.
Mm.
Over 100% alcohol.
Dang.
Ray and nephew. And Ray and his nephew, they're not black, brother.
Mm,
These are two Jews.
mm.
See, they don't drink it, they make it for us. But it's become cultural for black people in Jamaica and in other parts of the Caribbean to swallow this stuff down our neck, brother, like it's like it's nectar,
Mm,
like it's the elixir of life.
mm.
But it's a killer. It's killing us. So accept those who believe and do good and exhort one another to truth. So that's why we have to tell that kind of truth, even though we know that when we say it, a lot of our people get upset. Because, man, what are you trying to do? You're trying to mess up my life. You're trying to
Mm, mm.
spoil my fun.
Yes, sir.
Leo, you're a killjoy, brother. What's wrong with you, man? There's nothing wrong with a little sip of Ray and his nephew. Oh,
Yeah.
there's plenty wrong with it, man. It's ruining your liver. It's affecting the head of your sperm. It's affecting the egg that has the potential to produce a new child in the womb. I mean, it does so much damage, brother. Imagine putting a liquid into your body that disorientates you, that makes you dizzy and unsteady on your feet. And we think that's a good thing. That's how they've dumbed us down
Yes,
to
sir.
that degree where we do the most harmful things to ourselves and have no appreciation of what we're doing.
Mm.
Except those who believe and do good and exhort one another to truth and exhort one another to patience. Coming back to that patience, because many of our people, brother, you know what they say? They say, man, I've been hearing Farrakhan for the longest time, man. When is it going to happen, man? Even the Holy Quran addresses it. There's some people in the Quran saying, bring it on.
Mm.
But Allah says, no, it's not going to happen before its time.
Yes,
You,
sir.
you can't precede it, nor can you avert it.
Mm.
Allah operates in his own time, you see, and in his own time. And it's sad because, you know, Noah was teaching for 150 years, brother.
Mm.
And the people would take sightseeing tours out into the desert to mock him. Hey, man, we're going to go and see the crazy guy building that boat. Hey, Noah, when is it going to be finished? And they're laughing, and generation after generation of people laughing and mocking or whatever. And we got people like that today, brother. Ah, man, Farrakhan's talking about, oh, the white man, and it's gonna the white man's doom and this and that. Yeah, man. But all I can see is the white man building skyscrapers. All I can see is the white man building new roads, and the white man's doing this, and the white man's doing that, and the white man's building all manner of stuff. Well, you see, family, again, going back to a good movie, in a good movie, if you're a good script writer,
Yes, sir.
you write it in such a way that, man, as it builds to a crescendo to the
That's what
final,
it does.
it
That's what it does.
always looks like the star is going to lose.
That's what it does. Yes, sir.
That's it. And it looks like the enemy is so uh, gargantuan. I'm trying to think of words.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It looks like the enemy is so mighty that he cannot lose. But the twist always is that the star wins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see, this is how it works, beloved. So David and Goliath is real.
You-
You know, in the build up to Crawford and Canelo, brother. I mean, you had Boots Ennis. I hope I'm not saying things that people don't even know about, but maybe he literally went over to the other side, brother.
Mm, mm, mm.
Sparring with Canelo to prepare Canelo
Yes, sir. Yes,
for a
sir.
black man. I'm telling you, brother, no Mexican would ever do that to prepare a black man to fight against their own Mexican champion. It's just not
Mm,
going to happen.
mm, mm.
And, the talk was that Crawford was too small,
Yes, sir.
jumping up 2, 3 weight divisions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Canelo is a beast. His body punching, his shots are just gonna he knocks out light heavyweights.
That's what they said.
This guy's had nearly 70 fights. He's formidable. He's got a granite chin.
Yes, sir.
Cannot be stopped. Crawford has not got the power to slow him up and keep him back. This is David and Goliath.
Mm, mm, mm.
And that fight was bigger than that fight. That fight was, again, just a sign for those who know how to read signs, because it's our time now.
Yes, sir.
See, that's the point. It's unstoppable. It is inevitable. Doesn't matter what anybody does, doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say. Now is the time for the rise of the dead.
Beautiful.
Now is the time for those people who were the bottom rail to come to the top.
Wow,
For
wow,
those
wow.
people who were the tail to now become the head.
Yes, sir.
more and more and more, this is what's being made manifest. This is what's coming in. And I don't know, I'm sure you're more familiar, obviously, with North America than I am. But I can tell you, brother, whether it's in North America or it's here in the United Kingdom, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, we are witnessing the unraveling of a
Mm.
once great nation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when we talk about America and we talk about Britain, you're talking about one entity. That's why when you hear them talk, they talk about a special relationship.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Special relationship is mother and daughter.
Mm,
England is the mother, America is the overgrown daughter.
mm.
They are relatives, they are one and the same. And what we're witnessing in the UK right now, dear brother, my God, man, the whole thing is falling apart.
Mm,
You have in the UK Satan absolutely fighting Satan.
mm,
The government is in trouble, falling apart. And guess what? It's the same thing in North America.
mm.
With Trump in the White House and his relationship to Epstein and all of this stuff, man, they're in trouble, brother.
Mm.
With political assassinations, Charlie Kirk, and all of this stuff, brother. All of it is symbolic of the unraveling of a once great nation. In this country, we got white supremacists coming out in their hundreds of thousands now on the streets talking about immigrants and brown and black people basically need to get out. And they don't want no more coming in because they feel that their country has been taken away. The same language of the MAGA crowd. They want their country back. We've got to take our country back, all of this kind of stuff, because
Mm.
these immigrants, the deportations taking place in America, ICE rounding up people, grabbing them with balaclavas on, putting them in vans and deporting them or whatever. This is the same mentality that is pervasive here
Mm.
because they are desperate, brother, because they see their whole world coming down, falling apart, unraveling, because the God has decreed that your time is up. So they
Mm.
they they don't have any longer a remit. They don't have they don't have a remit. There's another word I'm looking for that they use in politics. They don't have, oh man, the word has slipped me. It may come back, but they don't have a remit. They don't have a mandate. That's the
Okay.
word.
Okay. Okay.
They don't have a mandate any longer to rule. See, they're now living on borrowed time. They're now
Mm.
in the time of God. And so as a result, the whole thing is falling apart. And they're
Mm.
desperately trying to find, and so that's why they start looking for scapegoats. Well, it's the blacks, it's the browns, it's the Mexicans, it's the South Americans, it's the immigrants, and they start blaming everybody else. But brother, if we were all to leave England, if all the if, brother, the whole thing would crash down even quicker
Mm.
because we're the ones who actually uphold it all. We're the ones who are the ancillary workers. We're the ones who do the night jobs. We're the ones who keep their nations clean. We're the ones who are at the base. If you understand that description in the scriptures of the head of gold and the chest of silver and the feet of brass and miry clay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because if we were to actually stop playing the role that we've been playing, the whole thing crashes down.
Mm. Mm.
See, so they're destroying themselves, basically. That's what I'm saying. Um, they're lashing out, they're angry, they're upset. And in truth, the best thing that we can do is to stay the hell out of it,
mm,
you see, and come together among ourselves, organize among ourselves, unite among ourselves.
mm,
Brother, France is in deep, deep trouble, brother. Why? Because the countries in the Sahel region of Africa and West Africa, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, brother, they kick France out.
mm,
And when they kicked France out, what they did was they stopped France from taking basically free uranium.
mm, mm,
They stopped France from having free gold. They stopped France from raping Africa of hundreds of millions of francs on a yearly basis because using the French franc, using their currency, they were uh, living large on the African resources. And now that that's been stopped, now that's been curtailed, the France is falling apart, brother.
mm, mm,
They just dissolved their government the other day, and now they're demonstrating, and they want Macron, the president, to go, and they're fighting in the streets, brother. But the mainstream media is not telling you what's going on in France.
mm, mm,
Why? Because they can no longer get free stuff from Africa.
mm,
Because the whole of their nation has been held up by basically raping Africa. And all of the European countries have been doing that. And all of them more and more as more countries begin to recognize the beauty, the power, the strength of what just these three nations in West Africa have begun to do. And the more the African continent comes together, the more you will see the European nations, Australia, New Zealand, America, they're all going to fall apart, beloved. Canada, all of them, because they are all part of that golden head on top of that silver breastplate,
mm.
on top of those legs made of brass and miry clay. You see? And it's a very fragile uh, edifice that now must come down. So yeah, it's a wonderful time to be alive, brother. And we've got to really try our best to stay alive. The enemy is so wicked that he's going to try and kill a lot of people. He's going to try and kill us. He'll try and kill everybody. He's tried to kill the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on several occasions. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is protected. He's a protected, he's a preserved man. But you should know, Brother Josh, that so are you, so am I, so are we if we are believers and we are patient, you see, and we follow the instructions that we've been given. We've got a lot, we have a lot to study. We have a lot to do in the sense that Um, the Nation of Islam is not a place of sit down and relax.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
you know what I mean? It's a doing place. Just as we're taught that in heaven, there's going to be work to be done in heaven, beloved.
That's right. That's right.
Sit down, lay on a beach all day long. You can only lay on a beach so long, before you get bored.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You better have some work to do. So praise be to Allah, brother. Forgive me for going on so long, but I just wanted to try and put a kind of encapsulate my thinking around this date that's coming up soon, the 17th of September,
Yes, sir.
1995, and that more than a vision um, experience of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because it's whether it's NASA or the Pentagon, brother, they're now confessing, like,
Absolutely.
yeah, that these are real phenomena, And they're also confessing, brother, that these, because some of our people are very concerned about the prospect of nuclear annihilation. But what we have learned through leaks and some whistleblowers in NASA and the Pentagon and the United States government and some investigative reporters is that these planes or wheels have been known to infiltrate restricted airspace
Yes, sir.
above nuclear facilities and turned off their nuclear triggers or weapons. So what does that say? That says, as Bob Marley said, have no fear for atomic energy, for none of them can stop the time. See? Because some of us are fearful. Oh man, he's just going to blow everybody. Now he can't do it. Allah will not permit him to do that. He may permit him to kill himself and some of his people, but he's not going to permit the enemy to blow up planet Earth. It's just not going to happen, beloved.
Beautiful.
Because we have the technology to prevent that. That's been shown to the enemy when we have gone over. You see, I say we, when we've gone over his nuclear sites and turned off his nuclear devices. Wow, isn't that something?
Yes, sir.
Wow, man. Come on, man. We're very blessed people, brother. We're not, we're not this minority. We need to stop using that language.
I agree.
Minority. No, we're not that at all, man. We are, in fact, the majority on the planet. And then with God, man, we are very, very blessed people.
Beautifully teaching, Brother Minister. Yes, sir. I just want to let you know people are showing you love all around the world. Welcome, salam, Sister Miriam. Thank you very much. B, yes, sir. Welcome, Ema. Adrian X, welcome, salam. Righteous by nature, peace and blessings, family. That's right. Kadir Fegans, all praises to Allah. King Simon presents KSP TV Media. Thank you for always showing love. They were exposed to the minister because he was talking about the Wayans family, beautiful. King Simon. Some people are with Miles Langston. Some people who have seen it know it exists, but who you wouldn't believe. Teach Hard, Vincent Sonian. Thank you very much. Righteous by nature, beautiful. Allah is the best of planners. Give him more time. Beautiful B. Thank you, righteous by nature. Praise be to Allah. Everybody who is watching, we have a brief 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. And I just want to thank you again. Please let us know what city and state you all are watching from and or country. And Brother Minister, we want to thank you. You did a phenomenal job per usual. 1 second. We're grateful for every like, share, and subscription. 1 second. Oh, goodness. Here we go. 1 second. Thank you. Thank you all. My God. Here we go. So many people in the comments. I did my best to read all of your comments. If you all have any guest suggestions, please, by all means, put them in the comments. There we go. We're grateful for every like, share, subscription, anonymous cash app, at chat. Beautiful. And we are live with the People's Podcast. Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out if you need any of that. Sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. Sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. My two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Wonderful. Boom. Right back to our illustrious guest. Thank you to everybody who was watching and continues to show love. Brother Minister, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You did a phenomenal job tonight. We thank Allah for you. We salute you and all of the soldiers who and believers who are with you over the pond. We truly appreciate you all representing the teaching so precise and profound with your breakdown and exegesis of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Tonight, man, you answered so many of our questions, but we got to put you on the hot seat with one more question, Brother Minister. Inshallah, can you come back again and we add to another part of the series because we had so many questions that we didn't get to address.
Absolutely, dear brother. Absolutely. And I promise you, inshallah, next time I will just answer questions. I won't talk so much,
Hold on,
inshallah.
person, stop. Beautiful. Okay, praise be to Allah. Great. And Brother Minister, this is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, dear beloved family. Please, please, brother, extend the greetings to all of your wonderful family, especially your father. May Allah bless you, Brother Joshua, to keep up that wonderful work that you're doing, dear brother, on the People's Podcast. Very much looking forward to seeing you in person one of these days, real
Oh, yes,
soon.
sir. You already know. You already know.
So may Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir. Thank you all for watching. And phenomenal job, Brother Minister. Phenomenal job.